puzzle streams again. Um, yeah, as some of you may know, I have adjusted my schedule a little bit. So, at least for now, Wednesday evenings are set aside for a kind of rotating variety schedule of stuff. Um, we're still playing bigger story games on the weekends. I've now also sorted like my Steam library into folders to, plan out what I'll be playing long term on weekends for longer streams, and then what I'll be doing on the shorter streams for Wednesday evenings. But we will be getting back into puzzles. We will be getting back into reading. I missed doing some of that stuff, and I put it on hold for a little bit because I wanted to play more games. But I also really want, to embrace the like variety of it. I want to do different things on this channel. I want to do more chill things. So we're gonna get back into a puzzle tonight. Welcome in, Atlas. Thank you for collecting your daily treats. And first, um, I still think I'm still need to do some fiddling with my sound on this computer. So do again, let me know if the mic sounds too quiet, the music sounds too loud, any of the above. The alerts don't play. I can barely hear the alerts on my side, but if I watch the stream, I can hear them quite well. So it's clearly some setting in OBS. Let me lower the music a bit. Hang on. Is that better? Can you hear me a bit better now? The music will be more chill on the other table. I have more like chill music for the puzzle stuff. Um, so hopefully that will be a little bit quieter. Anyway, it's really hard for me to tell the sound difference because apparently OBS doesn't know how to actually let me hear what you all are hearing. So I'm just gauging it based on like the little bars that play on the audio thing to say, hey, I'm louder than the music, I'm quieter than the music. But yeah, we're still working out the kinks on moving everything to my PC until I either get my laptop fixed, get a new laptop, or potentially just keep streaming on the computer because why not? It seems to be working okay so far. Um, and I don't even think my laptop supports the thing where it allows me to use my GPU for OBS. So it this has honestly been waves better than trying to run it on my laptop. Even if I'm playing a PC game so far. So yeah, I think that's where we're at. Um, I did have an announcement to make, which is why I didn't stream on Saturday. Um, so some of you may know that Atlas and I are dating, have been for a few years now. And he's hopefully coming to Canada to live here. He got accepted into college, so congrats, Atlas. Now we have to do all the fun stuff of filling out all the paperwork and whatnot and figuring out all the rest of that goes along with it. But getting in is the first step. And on top of that, we went on a really lovely little trip, got dinner, went on a horse-drawn sleigh ride, and I proposed to him. So we are now engaged officially. Um, as you all know, I am, well, as I don't know if all of you people know, I am polyamorous, so it's not like I'm still married to my wife and we still have like a house and everything together. Atlas is just, another part of the polycule. And yeah, I mean, this is a very queer, open channel, so like we want to talk about all that sort of stuff here. Like if you uh, are poly, you're safe to talk about any of this, you know, like stuff. Like we want this to be a space where when I say everyone is welcome and like you won't like be judged, like if you're well, I say that, but I think you all like we want to create a safe, wholesome space. And if you are, someone who's on the like marginalized outskirts of communities, like you are welcome here. I am a trans furry pup who's polyamorous. Like you can't get too much more on the outskirts. I love you too, Atlas. And yeah, so um, yeah, we just want to create a really welcoming, open space for anyone to talk about that sort of stuff, to feel open about discussing that sort of stuff. And yeah, like I'm here to hang out with people. I'm here to meet people. I'm here to like learn about people's lives, make friends, and all that fun stuff. Um, yeah, because Twitch has been a really positive social experience for me. I've met, I came on here just being like, hey, it's an excuse to play games and do puzzles and read. And I've met so many really, really wonderful people through Twitch, which honestly was, I mean, I guess I could have expected it, but I don't know. Maybe I had spent too much time thinking that Twitch was like all of the like toxic bullying nonsense. But yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of really good communities out there that are worth spending time in. So yeah, that was my big announcement and why I did not stream Saturday, and also why I was very tired on Sunday because we did have to drive home in a snowstorm, which was a little bit which was a little bit tense. Because where we went was like 3 hours away from where I'm living right now. So, but yeah, let's get over to the puzzle, and you will now see that we have our table here, which is technically the cat cam, and you can still see Rose hanging out in her little shark bed. We have the puzzle we'll be working on, and then we have fishing, which you can do exclamation mark fish to cast a line, or you can guess the Pokemon, which is always in the bottom of the screen and should refresh. Otherwise, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start working on this puzzle, and we're gonna chat and we're gonna hang out, and yeah, we'll be going for. These are extended streams now, I guess, because I think before when I was doing Wednesday nights, I was only doing um 1 hour, but we're gonna go for 2 hours from now on. So I think that will be a better experience overall because I won't feel like rushed or anything like that. We're going to get out some of these drawers so I can sort pieces. And yeah, once again, let me know if the music is too loud, too quiet, too anything really. I'm gonna sort pieces, and then we'll see how much we can actually get done today. But I don't know. I'm sure we'll be able to start on the edge. It is a 1,000-piece puzzle, so it's quite large. Um, but yeah, we will see. I don't know what I'm really doing right now. I might. Okay, let me get the last drawer out. I can't. I can't open it without moving this. So let's put. If it's furry, we'll put it there. I can't put myself there, but we'll put the puzzle pieces that look like wolf fur there. So yeah, maybe Rose will come out and bug us while I'm working on this. I guess the other thing I can talk about is I will be going to Fernal Equinox this year, which is a Toronto furry con, and I've been going the last few years, and it's always been a really good experience. So I'm looking forward to going again this year. I usually go with a group of friends, um, and it's a mix of fursuiters and artists, and just a really fun group of folks. Most of us are trans. I mean, aren't a lot of furries trans anyway, but I think if you get where I'm coming from. So yeah, it's a really chill time. We always we stay up till the we stay up till the DJs turn the light on dancing basically. Um, and I don't know. I just really like the experience of furry cons. I think I've talked about this before because it just feels so like you're allowed to just so unapologetically be yourself in a way that like I guess anime cons kind of capture that. I mean, I've been to anime cons too in the past, but I just feel like furry cons specifically are something special. I don't know if it's because it's so focused on individual like and not that cosplayers and anime cons don't foster creative people. Like there's obviously artists and stuff like that, but I think there's a difference between people who create like their own characters. Like even if you're not an artist, you are usually creating some like visual representation of yourself that like is a character. Um, Sorting these like very vaguely. I don't really know. Like, I'm kind of going for like sky and light colored pieces and darker colored pieces, but I think this might like bite me in the ass later. But we'll see. um, anyway, yeah, like it's just a really good experience. I find that I'm able to really be like just like I don't care that I look like an. But for some reason, I'm at a con and I don't feel like I look like an idiot dancing because everyone else, is just doing their thing. And yeah, I don't know. It feels like a safe space you can usually find, even if like I don't spend the entire con with my friends. Like we're not like glued at the hip or anything. We usually kind of do our own thing, come together for maybe a meal or two, come together for the dance, that sort of thing. But mostly we kind of do our own thing, and then I find that even if you're not like people are generally friendly. Like it doesn't feel very clicky. Like there's obviously some people who go there and they know each other and they probably spend most of the time with those people. Um, but I've just had some really nice conversations with like people just standing in line for a panel, or you compliment someone's fursuit, or I don't know, you just stumble across people. There's also a lot of crossover with like the pup play groups, which is becoming a lot more popular and welcoming at FurCons. I think there was a time period at in a time when I wasn't really with I wasn't really participating in the furry fandom for a long time, and I think in that interim there's been a significant growth of pup players that have kind of crossed over. I don't know if in general pup play has just kind of gotten more popular or if it's just become more welcome in a FurCon space, because there's still a lot of heavy discussion about the crossover of kind of like kink and being in public. But I mean, I think ultimately as a pup, like wearing the hood doesn't automatically mean that like I'm participating in kink actively. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even if you're the type of person who like, well, why are you mad? Even if you're the type of person who has a handler and they take you for like walks outside, like I don't know, it's not for a lot of people. I feel like it could be more of a bigger like sexual thing, but for other people it's just like being in the mindset of a dog and wanting to kind of like escape for a while and be not a human, because I mean honestly doesn't being a human kind of fucking suck? Like who wouldn't want to be a dog or a cat or some other like pampered pet by some like loving owners? Um, so yeah, I think it's interesting because I think it was obviously traditionally a more like not safe for work type thing, but I think it's branched out into a lot more. Even as we as a queer community, LGBTQIA plus community, whatever, embrace the spectrum of asexuality and um, all those sorts of things. Like it it doesn't always have to be about like the horny stuff. Sometimes it's just about the experience. Is that fur? I have no idea. It's very hard with the thousand piece puzzles because obviously there's not a lot of details on this thing. But anyway, my point being is that there's a lot of different people that show up at FurCons. You can meet a lot of cool people, um, and yeah, it's just a really good community experience. And somehow there's a very high percentage of queer people in the furry fandom to begin with. And so outside of just being safe because we're all kind of weirdos, like I think most of us would say self-proclaimed weirdos. Um, you know, it's still it's still a safe space because even if it wasn't a bunch of furry people, it's still a bunch of queer people, um, which which feels quite nice to be around. So yeah, that is in March, and I will be there for the whole weekend. And I am waiting for my bonus at work to come through because once I figure out how much Fernal is going to cost, and then how much I will have left over, I would like to consider going back to TwitchCon EU. They have officially announced the dates yet. I believe it's the end of May sometime. And if I can make it, if I can squeeze in a flight and a hotel, um, find some people to room with maybe, then I would love to be able to go to TwitchCon EU again because I had a great time last year. And again, got to meet some really wonderful people that I had been talking to, for a long time on the internet, and then actually get to meet them face to face, which is pretty fucking cool. So I would love to go back and get to do that again. And while I'm sure going to TwitchCon US might be cheaper to a degree, I am not going to the US anytime soon until, um, a certain someone isn't around anymore and it's safer to travel to the US. Because I do not feel like it is a safe place to be right now, unless you absolutely have to be there. And I also do find that because of my work schedule, I do often end up watching a lot of European streamers anyway. So I feel like I know more people that are in Europe that would probably go to TwitchCon Europe before they go to the US TwitchCon. But that's like my plans for later this year. Um, Probably those will be the only two cons that I make it to, if I even make it to both, because we're just trying to, the getting the renovations done. Well, I should say renovations, but it was really repairs and renovations done was a pretty significant chunk of money. We would also really, really like to actually start the farm this year if we can, but I think we're pretty tight. Like with all these things that keep happening, we keep kind of having to put it off. Um, but it's still there. It's still in the works. We still want to do alpacas. We still want to do beekeeping. Well, I want to do beekeeping. um, Yoda, who is also part of the Polycule, wants to do beekeeping as well because she is interested in mead making. Yes, unfortunately, Atlas, you are stuck with your American citizenship for now, but hopefully one day you will not have to be. um, but yeah, we want to do beekeeping. We want to do a big garden. We want to be able to do like a kind of Airbnb alpaca experience where we have our trailer parked over there on the property. for people to stay in when they visit. Um, and then yeah, we'd obviously like charge a nightly rate or whatever, and you get to stay like on the farm with the alpacas next door to you. Um, so yeah, we have the land, we have the plans, we have even plans for like a barn and all that sort of stuff. It's just buying the supplies, putting it together, and then finding alpacas, which are surprisingly not that hard to find. Like, who knew that you can literally just go on Kijiji or Craigslist or even Facebook Marketplace and buy livestock? Like, you can buy goats, you can buy alpacas. Um, you'd think that there would be like, I don't know, different channels for that, but nope. You usually go to some classified website and search for the animal you want. I mean, I'm sure if you want something more like, you're not going to go there for, uh, maybe purebred dogs or something, but I mean, I'm sure some people advertise on Facebook anyway. But like, yeah, for just like, you find a lot of people that are being like, hey, I'm selling off my farm and I need to get rid of my animals and send them to somewhere. Someone will take care of them. Apparently, a lot of people post that on Facebook. Who knew? Facebook, Kijiji, Craigslist. Quite fascinating, really. This is going to be a very difficult puzzle. Like, with the Mass Effect one, I feel like I kind of knew what I was looking at. This one has a lot going on. Oh, there's an owl. I didn't even know there was an owl in the tree. No, it's not fur, but I guess I'll put it with the animal pieces. Butterfly. God, I feel like I've barely made a dent in this box. These pieces are definitely not as high quality as the Mass Effect puzzle, but I find that they actually might be showing up on screen better because they're a little less glossy. And the glossy puzzle pieces were not very good for the camera. Oh, corner piece. Wait. I don't know. I don't know if that's fur or not. It's questionable. That's an eye. That's maybe fur.
I want to poop the snooze. I want it.
You are only 10% boopable today. That's tragic. That's very mean. I still wanna come up with something like, I don't know, some kind of like leaderboard or something for the boop the boot thing. I don't know how I would track it. I'd have to like probably manually track it or have you help me track it as a mod. But like track anyone who gets like 100%. Looks like in here. Ed.
Emergency induction port.
That's a
For the
strong
hydrate?
tally.
Emergency induction port.
The cheese tax, the cheese tax. You gotta pay the cheese tax every time you're cooking. When the cheese comes out, this puppy comes looking. The rules are the rules and the facts are the facts. And when the cheese drawer opens, you gotta pay the tax.
Oh, I grabbed 3, so we're eating 3. There's still like a quarter of the box left, I think. I really can't tell if some of these are fur or like other weird textures. What is that? Is that the mountains? I have no idea. Like, let me look at this real quick. Maybe I can pick it up. Maybe that is their fur. It looks very, like, super floofy. That's what we're making. Why are you so hard to grab? There we go. Anyone watch anything good lately? Anything new or interesting? I have a couple things on my list. My wife and I want to watch Heated Rivalry. Well, she's already watched it, but I started to. I haven't finished it yet. I think I mentioned maybe a couple streams ago that we finished Stranger Things, which I know a lot of people have. Like, do I think the ending could have been better? Yes. Do I think it was bad? No. I think it honestly suited the show. It was fun to watch. But if I'm watching TV, I don't need everything to be, some groundbreaking, like, life-changing experience. It was fun. It was fun to watch. It had a lot of, like, sci-fi tropes. A lot of fun, like, having the show set in the 80s and all those fun references that go along with it. Like the fucking Wheeler family being a bunch of badasses. Like, I don't know. It was a fun ride. Do I love that in the documentary were they were using like ChatGPT for who knows what? No, it was never explicitly stated that they used it for like writing content, but they had apparently a tab open on their browsers or something while they were writing scripts. Maybe they were using it for research. I don't know. I still don't. I am a very non-AI promoter. um, this channel is it genuinely. If you were ever in my stream and there is something that like is AI, and like I'm not aware of it because like I try to do my research these days, but sometimes it's not always as easy to find out as you might think. Let me know. I don't love to support it, if I can avoid it. Obviously, I do understand there's probably a certain level of acceptance you will have to come to at some point to stay gamers, but I hope that there are people that continue to make games and not embrace it. I'm not like I can't say I'm fully anti-AI. I think there is uses for it. I don't think it should be knowing how much it can damage the environment and knowing, the multitude of issues with it. I don't think it's something that should be publicly available as freely as it is. I don't think it's helping anyone. We've done a lot of jobs for this long without it, and I get that like there has been, like we created automation, we created factories, like that is a form of AI that we've used for decades. But I just don't think the direction that we're going in is the right direction to be going. There's definitely better things we could be doing than just relying on it for medical advice and dumb queries on Google and like those sorts of things. So it is not the way that we should be going. As I said, give me like a robot that does my chores for me, not something that writes a novel for me. It's not helping anyone. There are better solutions and better ways to perform the same things. But yeah, what I was leading to with watching stuff is Atlas and I have tickets to go see Markiplier's Iron Lung at the end of the month, and I am looking forward to that. Yeah, I really love to see creators standing up to AI use and advocating for like real artists and real creators and not letting that take over everything. Hello, Rose. Are you coming out? These pieces that are not separated are very stuck together. So I'm trying not to damage them when I separate them. Fur, maybe? Oh, also, I guess I should mention, I know she's upset I've taken her table, probably. The book that I would like to read, in the spirit of, like, Wicked and everything coming out, I think I'm going to read the first Wizard of Oz book first. As I said, I can read anything that's available in the public domain. So if you have suggestions of things that are worth reading that are in the public domain, I will gladly take suggestions for future streams. But yeah, I will start with The Wizard of Oz. Well, start with. We already read The Picture of Dorian Gray. I will return to reading with The Wizard of Oz. And we'll go from there. I still genuinely, I've been meaning to do it. I've been meaning to reach out to K.A. Applegate's publishing team. Because I would honestly, like, love to read, like, I'd love to read Animorphs. I think that'd be really fun. That was one of my favorite movies as a kid. And it feels, we got probably one of my early introductions to, like, being into shape-shifting and furries and stuff like that. So I would love to read that. And I know that K.A. Applegate herself has been very receptive to, like, someone released a bunch of the EPUBs and PDFs or whatever for free. And she was like, hell yeah, share, like, do it, like, share my shit, and, like, supported them. So, I know that reading, like, obviously copywritten works is, potential for, like, takedown stuff, and I don't want to deal with that, but I feel like that is something that I could maybe get permission to do, because I feel like she might be a person who's, like, open to that sort of thing. So maybe one day we'll read Animorphs, but until then, we will read public domain books. And I know there's quite a few out there that are classics, like War of the Worlds, Frankenstein. Actually, I do really like Frankenstein. I read that in high school for a project, when we were allowed to pick whatever book we wanted. And I am all for Mary Shelley being, like, the beginning of sci-fi. Pretty cool shit. Because, I don't know, we went through this whole era of, like, gatekeeping and, sci-fi for boys or whatever. So many people forget so many people forget that, um, a lot of the original Star Trek fandom, for instance, was slash fiction writers, women slash fiction writers specifically. Um, and, Mary Shelley is usually said to be, I don't know if she was actually one of the first well, she is one of the first sci-fi writers. To kind of like, don't know if they say that she like invented the genre, but she was definitely one of the very early adopters of the genre. I kind of sci-fi fantasy maybe. I don't really know. It's kind of like sci-fi adjacent. But yeah, just I just really like that sort of stuff. But yeah, I feel like there's probably some really cool, obscure public domain books that I wouldn't even know how to look for them. If you know any, especially if they're sci-fi, because I'm kind of a big fan of sci-fi. Yeah, let me know. I will gladly add it to the list to be read. And with the streams being 2 hours now, I think we would be able to get through a pretty good chunk, much faster, depending obviously on how big the book is. But I think a lot of the stuff that I kind of have in mind initially are a bit shorter. I don't like cheating and having people run together. I don't like it. We're getting there. Oh, that's probably, I don't know, maybe I should put it in this camera. We're getting there. The inside of this box is very dusty though. From the puzzle pieces, obviously. It's interesting that puzzles create so much dust. I feel like there has to be a better way to fix them. But that doesn't happen. But I don't know. I feel like they probably would figure that out by now. If they could. Maybe not. That one could have gone both ways. Rosie? You wanna come say hi? You wanna come say hi? She's too busy sleeping. She's upset that I disturbed her. Now, I also, as a reminder, am still raising money for the push-up challenge. I am doing my training every day for the push-up challenge. So today I had to do 20 seconds of push-ups. Oh, sorry, I have to yawn. Then a 20-second break, then 20 more seconds of push-ups, and basically I had to do 20 seconds of push-ups 6 times. That looks like a snake. It's getting both easier in some ways and harder in other ways. But I think we're getting pretty well prepared for the 2,000 push-up challenge in February. My fundraising goal is $200. So I would love to be able to see us reach that. I am obviously not anticipating that anyone is, you're not forced to donate or anything. I won't actually know that you donated until after my stream, because there's no integration with Twitch for this particular charity, but you can use the QR code there to donate. I do have, actually, I did receive a $25 donation last week from Kyle, so don't know if you are here tonight, Kyle, but thank you. It's very much appreciated. The money is going to the Canadian Mental Health Association, specifically the one in Ottawa, although the charity itself is nationwide across Canada. It is also apparently, I don't know if it's the same name per se of the charity, like it's the Mental Health Association of fill in the blank country, but this fundraiser is also available for those living in the UK and Australia. So if you are from one of those places and you want to participate in the challenge, you can raise money for your own home country's mental health association. I believe I've discussed before, but as a person with autism and probably some form of ADHD, not officially diagnosed, because I mean, this definitely leads to, some reasoning for me to want to support an organization that, assists with continued mental health research and funding. I went to see a psychologist who, I think it must have been a psychologist. I always forget the names. Psychiatrist versus psychologist, but I'm pretty sure this is a psychologist who was able to diagnose, because I did a screener with my family doctor, and he submitted the screener to this other doctor, the psychologist, to meet with me, and basically he asked me a bunch of questions, and we talked for a bit, and he determined at the time, I went in thinking that I just had ADHD. He actually concluded that I was likely on the autism spectrum, although on a little bit of, what's the word I want to look for? Not invalidating necessarily, but kind of adjacent to that, I guess. He basically was like, oh, well, this person didn't have trouble in school, so they can't possibly have ADHD. And I don't think I need to have it necessarily diagnosed in the sense that, like, I need to be on medication or anything for it, because I do tend to manage, I think. Okay, so yeah, he could not prescribe medication, he could just diagnose, so it must have been a psychologist. That was my understanding as well. I always forget if that's real or just me misremembering. So yeah, so he was a psychologist, and he was fairly sure that I had autism, but he was really only sure that I had autism because I have aphantasia, which is the inability to form mental images in your mind. Because apparently, people can just conjure images in their mind. When you have aphantasia your whole life, you literally don't even imagine that that's a possibility. Like when people talk about, it's one of those things where like you don't know until you know. Like I always imagined that the comment, like a picture's worth 1,000 words or whatever, was like a just turn of phrase. Or when people talked about like, oh, imagine this in your mind. Like I wasn't thinking that people were like actually seeing it. Like they could just be like I've heard some people can have such vivid images in their mind that it can be like they're like actually where they're imagining. Like they feel like they're actually there. Like they're thinking about an apple and they can like see the apple on the table in front of them. They know that it's not real. Like they know that it's not there. And they're imagining it, but they still see it as if it were. I'm like, whoa, that sound crazy talk because I can't see shit. If I try to imagine things. So anyway, that's aphantasia. That's very common in people with autism, apparently. Not obviously everyone who has autism will have aphantasia, but it's just common among, I guess, neurodivergence in general. Because I also know a lot of folks who have ADHD that also have aphantasia. It's very interesting when you start talking about these things. It's kind of like, you don't know until you know. You don't know that other people aren't having those thoughts. It's like, when I realized I was trans and you ask the question and you have, you finally actually tell someone, like, hey, I kind of wanted to, like, be a boy for whatever reasons for a long time. And people are like, well, I didn't. And you're like, oh shit, that's not just a thought that every little girl has when they're 5 years old. I don't know. So yeah, I think it's just one of those things where you don't really think about it because it's just how you exist, and you just assume that everyone else has those thoughts or those experiences because it's like an internal thing. It's not something that's like expressed outwardly. So yeah, very very interesting stuff. But anyway, he just basically said I did well in school, so I couldn't possibly have ADHD. But there's definitely a lot of like, I know there's a lot of crossover with ADHD and autism, but there's some things that I feel like are very clearly more ADHD symptoms than autism symptoms. But because I like probably treat myself with stimulants like coffee and other forms of caffeine, they just don't. I have a small enough part of ADHD that it doesn't impact me that hard. Anyway, we have ads in 20 seconds. I will throw up the BRB screen, and we'll be back very shortly, folks. Thanks for hanging out with me while we do this puzzle. We will hopefully be able to do the edge over the next hour before we wrap up. So, see you all soon. Welcome back, folks. Thanks for sticking around through the ads. We will get back into this puzzle. So, I want to make sure I have the 4 corner pieces. I think I took out 4 corners. Oh, I have to yawn. Ugh. Well, I already found these pieces, so I'll just put this in. Corner. There's another one. I need one more. One more corner. One more corner. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, let's just take a look at this again. Yeah. Made in the U.S. Okay, this. Oh my god, I wish I could stop yawning. This looks like this corner. That looks like that corner. This looks like this corner. And this looks like that corner. I think. And I know for the logo, not the logo, the artist signature. I think that would be pretty fun. That's a side. Nope.
Will the real Slim Shady please stand up?
Oh, thank you for the stretch, Atlas. Probably needed that.
Emergency induction port.
That's a straw, Tally.
Emergency induction port.
There. There. Yeah, I think the most fascinating thing about achondroplasia is when you finally talk to people, because like my wife has it, a lot of people I know have it. So because a lot of people I know have it being neurodivergent, granted, as I said, it's not always people who are neurodivergent who have it, but it's quite common. One thing that was interesting was learning people who don't have it, and like when I asked a friend like what it was like reading a book, he basically said that he could like basically play an entire movie in his head while he was reading. And I was like, there's no way that it works that way. But apparently it does, and apparently that's how most people's brains work. Which is just fascinating. I literally can't imagine what that would even be like. I've loved reading my whole life, but I never experienced that when I read. Like, I think that's why that's why I tend to prefer a lot of young adult content. Not because I don't necessarily enjoy, I don't know, like, not to say that young adult content can't have like depth and gravity to it, but I just feel like they're a lot more like action focused, and I find that is much more appealing to me than something that's a bit more cerebral, maybe, because I don't have to like imagine things. I can just like read what's happening and be able to understand it. I mean, it sounds pretty fucking cool to be able to see a whole movie in your head. But it's also quite funny because I also was never the type of person. I always would hear people being like, "Oh, that's not how I pictured them in the book. That's not like they cast an actor for someone and they're like, no, like that doesn't look like that character. That's not how I saw them in my head." And I never really had that problem because I could never see the character in my head. So to me, if I try to like I don't have an image of a character in my head until someone creates it in some way, like whether that's fan art or whether that's a movie or a TV show or something. Otherwise, it's literally just a list of information about like traits about a person, like hair color and whatnot. What confusing message did you get? But yeah, I don't know. That sort of stuff fascinates me. The way that the human mind works, like, fascinates me, and how different, how even just something as simple as mental images can be so drastically different for people, drastically different experiences for people. That almost felt right. I feel like this is that hard to find. A concerned Redditor reached out to us about you when you're in the middle of something painful. It may feel like you don't have a lot of options, but whatever you're going through, you deserve help, and there are people who are here for you. There are resources available that are free, confidential, and available 24/7. All I did was inquire about student housing. Was there something that might have, like, triggered some, like, bot response? Because I do feel like there's bots that pick up on, like, certain keywords and then, like, auto-send messages like that. Or maybe someone... No, but they said it was a concerned Redditor. I don't know, that's weird. And very, like, cryptic. I mean, could it be someone, like, trolling and they're like, "Oh, you're trans, so like I'm concerned about your mental health." Like, I don't know. That seems really weird and not like an appropriate response to that at all. That's not dramatic. That, pretty sure that is. That seems more. Yeah, that just doesn't seem like anything that would be worthy of like saying that they're concerned about you. Very bizarre. Yeah, that's really the only thing I can think of. How have I not found the rest of this person's name? Okay, this is actually, I think, over here. This is over here. That still doesn't seem right. Right. I don't know yet. Not even right. maybe, but that's still like I don't know. I don't think saying that you're like a loner is, something to be concerned of all on its own. But very odd. It's very difficult to know if I even have like all the edge pieces already. I actually don't think no, a little dark. then where the heck would that be? I feel like this picture is a rotten lie. All lies. Okay, that's promising. This still feels like it would go here, but oh, it does. Did I not try that already? Did I not try that already? I mean, I guess not. Now my algorithm. Almost correct, but not quite. Okay, hang on a second. I need to getting a little too far away from me. It does look correct. Is that right? I think it is. Nope. Hey, this is all connected to a corner. Is that like, oh, there's the rest of the name. Okay. That does fit quite nicely there. Looks a bit weird, but it must be correct. Like, okay. We're getting somewhere. This? Nope. That? That? That. Look at that. We got all the way from one corner to over here. That's something. Nope. 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 Not over there either. Oh,
Emergency induction port.
here's Toby.
That's a straw, Tally.
Emergency
Hydrate.
induction port.
Oh, I guess this could be along the top. That's probably along the top. This is probably all along the top. I'm being perfectly honest. This could just be. No. Let's go there. Oh, could that be that one? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this definitely goes this way. Definitely on this side. Okay. Okay. That works. That works. That is not much. Nope. That does not fit there. I feel like I must. This? Oh, it is. Okay, so we got the whole bottom. We got the whole bottom. It kind of looks like it fits, doesn't it? I think it might. Not quite. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Go here. Certainly looks like it. And then does that seem to line up? Yeah, it does. Okay. Okay, so edge is done. I do. It does look like I'm missing a piece. Hopefully, I'm like missing the piece and it's in one of these things, and not like I'm missing a piece and it's not here at all. I feel like I actually feel like I might want to start on but I want to check the light colored box. For the if I saw somewhere browser. Yep, found it. Edge complete. Actually, thank you, Yoda. That is definitely step one completed. We are actually at 9:50, so I think I'm actually going to wrap up. Because I don't want to get too into it and then, I think getting the border done is a pretty good stopping point. So I'm gonna take a look if we can raid anyone. As usual, the top is for follows and the bottom is for subs. And yeah, I really appreciate you all being here and hanging out with me while I worked on this puzzle. We will be back on the weekend with some more Mass Effect. And next week with I can't remember if I had planned reading. It's gonna be reading or rhythm games, and if it's rhythm games, it might be the trombone game, or it might be EDR if I feel up to it, but we'll see. I think I'm going to take us to Boba Bats. They have not streamed in a while, but they've just come back. We have rated them before, but a very long time ago. So they are playing Dispatch right now. And yeah, they are a very cool person. Very good vibes. Small but chatty channel. And yeah, I'm gonna take you over to there. Hopefully, I'm gonna. No, well, let me rate. Okay, I'm having issues rating. I think because I might be rating with too few people. So, there's a lot of people that I would rate. I think have gone offline. Yeah, we might just call it for the night. But yeah, I do appreciate you all being here on my first puzzle stream back. And yeah, I hope to see you all on the weekend and next week. And yeah, just hopefully more regular streams in 2026. Because I like hanging out with y'all, and I would like to do it more. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful night, everyone. Thanks again for hanging out with me, and I will see you all very soon.